ambazo tulikuwa tunaziangalia, na we have looked at 3 of them for you to grow. Na tukasema hii ni mwaka wa growth. And what I've been asking myself is, are we growing? Is there something that is happening in our lives? Na nataka kuamini ya kwamba something is happening. If it is not happening to you, then it is happening to many others. Praise the name of the Lord. For me, I can already tell you that I'm experiencing a lot of growth in my life. And I'm seeing God as I apply. Because maneno ninayowaletea sio kwenu peke yenu, bali ni maneno ambayo pia mimi mwenyewe yana impact. Praise the name of the Lord. And we said the 5 things that we were to discuss. The first day we talked about our thinking and how our thinking need to shift. How our thinking needs to be shaped by the word of God. How our thinking needs to be objective and intentional. So that our thing, it's something that you plan to do. You know, intentionality means that sometimes I have to sit down and take time to think. Praise the name of the Lord. And then we also talked about our skills on Sunday. Na tukasema ya kwamba we need to improve our skills. Ya kwamba you cannot grow if you are an amateur. Bwana asifiwe. Kama wewe ni mtu wa kufanya kazi kienyeji, there is a level ambayo utabaki. But there is need for skills. Na sio skills kidogo, there is need for advancement of skills that you may be able to grow ile area huko. And you don't have to limit yourself to certain areas. No, what do I want to say? You don't need to like try and carry everything. You need to limit yourself. You need to say, this is my area. We said you have to identify your area of skill. You have to express your skill. You have to go out and show the world what you have to offer. Praise the name of the Lord. Show the world what you have to offer. Unleash yourself. Don't allow yourself to be, you know, when we talk about unleashing, when you see a dog inaenda, kuna ile kitu inakuwa imefungwa nayo na inakuwa controlled, haiwezi, hiyo ndio inaitwa leash. And many of us are like that. There are so many things that have become like a leash in our lives. Inatushika, inatupeleka tu mahali inataka. But I pray that we can break forth and thrive. We were created to thrive. There's a song I love so much by Casting Crowns. It says that we were not created to survive. We were created to thrive. Praise the name of the Lord. And I refuse to survive in the things that I do. I refuse that it will be survival. I want to thrive. I want to enjoy. I want to feel good and free as I do what God has called me to do. Praise the name of the Lord. And that happens when we grow our skills. Then the other Sunday, we had talked about relationships. Relationships. And if there is a place where men and women have difficulties, it is in the area of relationships. It is in the area of creating and sustaining relationships that are enriching. Relationships that are helping us grow. You know, I have a mentorship class I've been mentioning that I'm taking through. And during that work, the assignment was to reach out to people who are close to us and to talk to them and all that. And when we came back on Saturday, one of the reflections that we got from that class is how difficult it is to get somebody who understands you. Somebody who knows you well. Praise the name of the Lord. And maybe I should also give you an assignment. Because I gave them an assignment, I told them, go look for 5 people. And when you get those 5 people, ask them the following questions. Some of them could not get even one person. Praise the name of the Lord. One person who can talk about them. One person who can honestly tell you, these are your strengths. These are your weaknesses. These are things that if you continue doing, you will thrive. These are things if you continue doing, you will fail, and therefore you need to stop. Because people are not intentional in creating relationships that have depth. We have become very superficial. But I pray to God that you will, you know the Bible talks, when the Bible talks about Jonathan and David, it says that their souls were, you know, they were tied together. Praise the name of the Lord. Yeah. That when Jonathan saw David, he loved him as himself. There are things you cannot do with superficial relationships. And I pray that God will help each and every one of us and give us wisdom. Because God works through people. And the Bible is full of people that God works through. Praise the name of the Lord. Yeah. And you need those people. So deliberately create those relationships. Allow me today to talk about time. I know I had mentioned about the physical realm, but allow me somewhere in the year to come and speak about the shift that we need in our physical realm. And we look at some stories like the story of Abraham being told to move from the country of the Chaldeans and to go where God would show him. And we'll have reflection on that. But for today, let us talk about time management and how we ought to spend our time if we are going to grow. Praise the name of the Lord. And what I will say is that I'll be creating a skeleton, and this is just a provocative message. It is a message that provokes you so that you may ask yourself more questions. So that you may go sit. You know, unajua, hii 1 hour or 45 minutes za kuhubiri hapa, haitoshi kukuchukua na kuhakikisha ya kwamba kila kitu kinachohitajika umechukua. Lakini the beauty of things is that we have the Holy Spirit. And therefore, when we come here and teach, what we are doing is just igniting. Ni kama ile inaitwa kushtua. Zile gari za zamani ambazo ni manual, ilikuwa inashtuliwa, inasukumwa, ikifika mahali kuna vile anaashiria gia zake na nini, inaguruma. Ikiguruma inaenda peke yake. Praise the name of the Lord. And that is my desire, that as we listen to these words, they will provoke us in certain areas of our lives. And when they provoke us, we will not just sit there. We will do something. We will move. Praise the name of the Lord. We will move. And when we move, ensure that you are... Hii ya kuchaji inaitwa nini? Inaitwa alternator ama inaitwa nini? Ni alternator. Hakikisha ya kwamba alternator yako inafanya kazi vizuri. Ili usishtuliwe, alafu by the time unafika June umekwama tena. Na wale walikushtua walienda. Sijui kama, you know, vijana wanakuja wanasukuma gari, inashtuliwa, inaguruma, inaanza kwenda, wanafikiria imeenda, wanaenda. Alafu akienda inazima na inakataa kuguruma tena. Tusishtuliwe, alafu let us create a momentum yenye to carry through na tutaendelea. Praise the name of the Lord. Yeah. In all aspects of our lives. Na naamini yakoba tabarikiwa. I would like to just read a few, like 3 passages, then share a few points here, and then we will have been done. Psalm number 90, the 90th Psalm, and we'll read verse 12. That the reason why we are doing this is what the psalmist said here. That he's praying, he's making a prayer to the Lord, and he's saying, so teach us to number our days that we may get a heart of wisdom. Praise the name of the Lord. Teach us, tufundishe kufanya hesabu kamili ya siku zetu, na ili tuweze kupata moyo wa hekima. Bwana asifiwe. Tuko pamoja? Yeah. Ya kwamba unapojua kuhesabu siku zako, na naposikia mambo ya kuhesabu siku zako, sio kusema kama mimi uanze kusema I was born on 12th November 1979, so I start counting. So November hiyo ya 1979 kuna siku 18, hiyo December ilikuwa na 31. Alafu nianze kusema, unajua the people are very smart in counting like that. And then niseme sasa niko na siku 1000, sijui ni 1000 ngapi. No, it's not counting that way. It is counting in terms of, because he's talking about, when you talk about numbering, it is the same as counting. And you don't number for the sake of numbering. You number because there is an objective. Kuna lengo ambalo ungetaka kuafikia. Bwana asifiwe. Kuna lengo ambalo, unajua wengine wetu, when we went to school, na tukafundishwa mahesabu ingine tulikuwa tunafundishwa, unapata watu wakiuliza, na hii, where will I ever apply it in life? Si hata wewe unaulizaga hivyo. Si unaulizaga hizo algebra na calculus ziliendaga wapi? Hizo kutafuta x na kutafuta y. But the challenge is because of the line that you took and the far that you went in improving your skills where you are. Praise the name of the Lord. Yeah. But if you come to some of us who advanced with mathematics to certain higher levels, including today, being an accountant, I use a lot of numbers, a lot of numbering. I can tell you that numbering is not simply just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is not just counting. It goes beyond being able to count how many they are. Praise the name of the Lord. It goes where significance is attached. That yes, Warui, you are now hitting 42 years. Then wisdom tells me there is a significance in that 42 years I'm hitting. And I want to say that age is not just a number. Praise the name of the Lord. Age is not just a number. And that is why even when you go into the Bible, you'll find you are told, and so lived 399 years and then died. And after he had lived 75 years, he begot so and so. I know we don't like reading those things. But do you think that they would have been written if they were not important? And the Bible is saying, teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Praise the name of the Lord. And that is my prayer for you and for me, that the Lord would help you to number your days. And as you number your days, to attach significance. Uweze kuona umuhimu wa hizo siku. Uweze kuona ya kwamba siku ya leo imeisha, lakini haijaisha tu ni katiki kwa kalenda ya kwamba imepita, lakini kuna kitu ambacho imeongeza katika maisha yangu. When you number your days, you gain a heart of wisdom, and I'll be telling you how to do that. Another word that I want to read is the book of 1 Chronicles 5:15 to 16. And I know you have heard about these sons of 12:32, sorry. Just a moment. Yes, 12:32. Sorry, I had said 5, but it is 12. And I know that you have heard about these sons of Issachar. The Bible says, so what is happening is that David is choosing men to go to war. Anachagua watu watakaoenda vitani. Na alikuwa anawachagua kulingana na koo zao, depending on their tribes. Na walipofika kunena mambo ya wana wa Issachar, there is something that is said here that is very, very important. It says, of Issachar, men who had understanding of the times to know what Israel ought to do. 200 chiefs and all their kinsmen under their command. Praise the name of the Lord. The amazing thing is that when you look at the other numbers of the other tribes, they are high. They are 28,000, 37,000, 1,000. But the son of Issachar, we are talking of 200 chiefs. And the Bible is saying that these guys had an understanding of the times. And when they get understanding of times, what happened? They knew what Israel ought to do. Praise the name of the Lord. The danger, ama hatari, ya kutoelewa muda, ya kutoelewa nyakati, ni ya kwamba pia unakosa kuelewa ni nini kinachotakiwa kufanywa wakati fulani. Bwana asifiwe. That help us to number our days, that we may have an understanding, that we may have wisdom. What does that wisdom help you to do? That wisdom helps you to know what ought to be done. Maana usipojua ni nini kinachotakiwa kufanywa, hautaweza kukifanya. Bwana asifiwe. Siku ya jana, I shared a video, the short videos that I share, and I said that there are 5 kinds of people when it comes to spending their times. Nikasema, jamaa wa kwanza anaitwa the don't care one. Huyo anakuaga carefree, hana shida zozote. Lifanyike, lisifanyike, yeye hana shida. Huyo anakuaga tu na wako. Hata kanisani wako. Bwana asifiwe. Hata katika hizi area zote za maisha, we talked about the personal life, the family life, we talked about the church, the community, the work. Anaweza amka na decide hata enda kazi na hana shida, hajali what will happen. They don't care. Then kuna huyu mwingine ambaye ni anaitwa the regret type. Huyo kazi yake ni kuregret always. Yani yeye hafanyi lakini anasema ana regret. Sijui kama ushaikutana na watu kama hao. Hao ndio wanasemaga kama ningelijua wakati nilikuwa shule. Hao ndio wanasemaga saa hii ningepewa opportunity nirudi shule. Na watasema hivyo mpaka wakiwa 80 years. Na walianza kusema hivyo vile tu walikosa kwenda form 1. You know, they fail to do, then they live a life of regret. They live because yes, there are things that we fail to do, but we need to live lives of regret. Wanakutana na mtu fulani, wanashindwa kuongea na yeye, then after some few days wanasema, na tulikuwa na yeye. I wish ningemuuliza. I wish ningemwambia. Their lives are full of regret. Everything about their lives is about regret. Then nikasema kuna category ya 3, na hiyo inaitwa the catch up. No, ya 3 haikuwa catch up. Ya 3 ilikuwa firefighters. Firefighters kazi yao ni kutofanya. The Bible is saying the sons of Issachar had the understanding of times. And because they had the understanding of times, they knew what Israel ought to do. Praise the name of the Lord. Yeah. The firefighter one does not know what they ought to do, and they don't do it. So what happens? Things go wrong. But because they don't belong to the don't care category, and they don't belong to the regret category, they will try to put off the fire. They did not do this. Things have now gone wrong, and they now are trying to correct things. They are trying to, as they fight that fire, another fire is lighting on the other end. By the time they are finishing this one, they are on. So their lives becomes a life of firefighting, a life of resolving problems. You know, like there's a problem in your personal life, a problem after a problem. There's a problem at your business. There's a problem at your family. You're always firefighting. Then there is the catch-up one. The catch-up one, huyu anatenda mambo on time, but at a very severe pressure. Yeye anagojaga mpaka the last minute. Hanaga haraka, ako free, anakaa, then anarealize, hiyo report inatakikana kesho. Analala usiku akingangana, akipigana, akijaribu kufanya, na ni ukweli anamaliza. By the time anamaliza amechoka, ameisha, anasema wacha nipumzike. By the time anamaliza wiki ingine mzima, ingine imetokea ilikuwa inatakiwa kufanywa. Anangangana tena, ana catch up, so they are always catching up. But the kind of people that I want to introduce to us, and I want us to become, is the intentional type. Praise the name of the Lord. Those who are intentional. Mtu ambaye kama hawa wana wa Issachar anajua kinachohitajika kufanywa leo na anakifanya. Bwana asifiwe. And when I talk about this, it doesn't only touch about things we do like work and the rest. It may even touch on things like an apology given on time saves so much heartache than an apology given late. Praise the name of the Lord. Yeah. I don't know whether you get what I mean. But when it comes to how you use your time, it is not only talking about did you do it today or yesterday, it is also talking about timeliness, promptness, how soon are you able to do it? And you're also saying, how helpful is it when I do it at that time? Kuna wakati mwingine kitu ukifanya, maana ushachelewa, haina faida yoyote. Bwana asifiwe. So, it is very important for us to become intentional in terms of spending our times. Let us read Ephesians chapter 5 and then share a few points before we finish. Verse 15. And I would like you to see some common things that are here. That in Psalms 90 verse 12, the Bible is saying that help me or help us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Then the son of Issachar understood the time. They had understanding. And so they knew what ought to be done. And then here, the Bible is saying, look carefully, then how you walk. Not as unwise, but as wise. So we are talking about let there be wisdom. Not as unwise, but as wise. Making the best use of the time. Praise the name of the Lord. Making the best use of the time, because the days are evil. Praise the name of the Lord. Making the best use of the time. That means there is a use, and you see the word used here is best. There is good use of the time. there could be better use of the time, but Paul is telling the church at Ephesus, make the best use of the time. Praise the name of the Lord. And that is my request for us at House of Worship Kamuru. Let us make the best use of time. Let us make the best use of time, because the days are evil. The days are evil. So that means on one side, there is evil that we need to conquer. On this other side, there is good that we need to achieve. And the factor is time. Is time. Praise the name of the Lord. Yesterday, I was attending a wedding of one of my mentees. And when one of the family members of the girl came forward to speak, he said something profound. For me, it was very profound. Maana alisema, nyinyi mnaweza kutupatia pesa, lakini mkitupa pesa, mnaweza kwenda na kufanya kazi na kupata pesa zingine. Bwana asifiwe. Tena akasema, mnaweza kutupatia mali yenu, lakini mkitaka kutupatia mali yenu, mkienenda, mnaweza tafuta mali nyingine. Mnaweza tafuta mali nyingine. Lakini akasema, shukrani nyingi ni kwa sababu kile ambacho mmetupatia hamwezi kukipata tena. Mmetupatia muda wenu. Na kila mmoja wenu amepewa muda fulani wa kuishi hapa duniani. Na ukishatumia huo muda hauwezi kuutengeneza tena. Na kwa hivyo, kwa kuja kwenu katika hii harusi, mmetupatia sehemu ya maisha yenu. And I thought that was profound. That by spending time to come to this wedding, you have given us part of your life that you cannot recover. Praise the name of the Lord. That by coming to the service this morning, you have given part of your life, something that you can never recover. But again, if you spend time in the wrong way, if you give time to the wrong things, you are giving your life to the wrong things. You are giving your life to idleness. You are giving your life and you can never recover it. Many of us are very keen on how we spend money. Wengine wetu hata kutoa shilingi 10 wanaweza pigana na makaga kwa gari, kwa sababu amecharge shilingi 10 extra. Shilingi 10. But have you ever thought about that? That this money, you can even, hata unaweza peana hapo, na ukifika hapo mbele ukutane na Warui, na akwambie shika hii 100 uende uki. Lakini time, some of us are not even keen. We don't even bother how we spend our time. We don't even bother that today are 24 hours. How many of those 24 hours did I spend productively? Hatukuwagi na hiyo kujiuliza maswali. Lakini unasikia mtu akisema na nilikuwa na 100 hapa, ilienda wapi? Some of us have headaches trying to calculate. Nikitoka kwa nyumba nilikuwa na pesa kwa mfuko na sasa hakuna. Hata mnaweza suguana. Hata inaweza leta conflict kwa nyumba. Hii trouser nilipoiweka hapa zilikuwa 5,000. Na ni wewe ulichukua kwenda kuvua. Ziko wapi hizo? Hizi 4 na 500. Na kumbe ulipitia mahali ukanunua kitu ya 500 ukasahau. Sasa unaniletea 1,500 ulipeleka wapi? Na upate hii imeleta shida. But time which is our life, because we have limited time. Praise the name of the Lord. And I know I've said many things here about time and I won't repeat them, but allow me to speak about 3 types of times that we need to consider. The first one is what I will call chronos. Chronos. C-H-R-O-N-O-S. Chronos. Chronos is comes from a Greek word. That is why you get the word chronology. And that is where even if wale wanasikiza Radio Citizen unasikia yule jamaa anaitwa Babu. Anaitwa nani jina yake? Amjui? Swale Mdoe. Anasema kulingana na chronometer. Ama usikia akisema kitu kama hiyo. Chronometer, that is the chronos. And that is the passage of time. That is the count of time. Like as the clock ticks, that is the time that is moving. And I want to share with you 3 types of time that you need to consider. So one is chronos. You need to consider the passage of time as you consider time as a function of your growth. Hiyo wale wanaelewa ni wale wa mahesabu. Yakoba, ukisema f into bracket x equals, ama ukisema f into bracket g. So then unasema time is a function of growth. Yani muda ni moja ambayo inafanya growth ipatikane ama isipatikane. So chronos, hiyo movement ya time. Lazima ujiulize haya maswali ambayo tumeyaona hapa. Yakoba, have I gained a heart of wisdom? Am I able to number my days? Like the son of Issachar, do I know that when it gets to morning, when it gets to Monday, when it gets to 4 p.m., when it gets to 5 p.m., what am I supposed to be doing for me to grow? Praise the name of the Lord. That is a kind of intentionality that I desire that it could come to our lives. That age is not just but a number. You see, when the children of Israel went to Babylon, the Bible tells me in Daniel chapter 9 that Daniel was studying the books. Na alipokuwa anasoma vitabu, akaona ilikuwa imeandikwa ya kwamba baada ya miaka 70. So he had to understand, where is 70 coming in? Praise the name of the Lord. And there are things that God will do in our lives based on where the time is hitting. And many times I'll talk to my wife, and she knows, and we have always seen God doing great things in our lives, and tell her that I feel by the time this year hits, we should have done this. That is chronos, that by the time these years go this way, we should be here. Even now, after by the time the next 4 years, the next 5 years. Why? Because as time passes, you need to be able to know what is expected. Where am I headed? Praise the name of the Lord. I remember telling her, must have been maybe 2009 or 2010. Na nikamwambia, by 2012, the desire of my heart is that we shall be in our own house. But unless you look at time that way and see what needs to be done, you might never be able to get there. Praise the name of the Lord. And on 22nd of December, 2012, we got into our own house. Why? Because you understand the times, you understand how things are working, and then based on that, you fit your growth within that working of God. Daniel is reading the books and applying a heart of wisdom, and he realizes after 70 years, we were supposed to leave this place. Do you know what we are supposed to do in the year 2021? 2022 is coming. Have you sought the Lord? And has it become clear within your heart where you ought to be and what you ought to be doing? Praise be to the name of the Lord. Because that is very, very important. The second type of time that you need to consider is what I'll call the seasons of our lives. The seasons of our lives. The seasons of our lives. Majira ya maisha yetu. There will always be seasons in our lives, and seasons can be brought about by very many factors. Some are natural, static factors, ni vitu ambavyo viko na haviwezi kuondolewa. Seasons zingine zitaletwa na mambo temporary, kama vile ambavyo COVID-19 ilikuja na ikaleta a season ambayo hatukuitarajia. Bwana asifiwe. Seasons zingine zitaletwa na chronos. Yakoba, kwa sababu ya vile miaka yako inavyoenda, kuna seasons unazozipitia katika maisha yako. And if there will be growth in your life, lazima ujiulize, what am I supposed to do in each season of my life? Praise the name of the Lord. And sometimes when you even look at the life of Jesus Christ, you see, he was not born, and at 12 he started ministering. No. At 12 he is in the temple talking to the teachers of the law. But after that they go home. He only reappears again at 30. And at 33, he is gone. So if you were to take his life and put it in seasons, you would find kuna seasons ambazo zina happen katika maisha yake. Ukimwangalia mtumishi wa Mungu kama Musa, utaona seasons alizozipitia mpaka aweze kuwafikia kile ambacho alikuwa ameitwa. Tulipokuwa tunafanya character study ya Daudi, tuliona seasons zile alizopitia. Kutoka alipopakwa mafuta, unaona ya kwamba hiyo kupakwa mafuta inafungua a kind of a season in his life. Na hiyo season inakuja na faida zake na triumphs zake, na inakuja na challenges zake na vita zake. Na lazima awe wise kupigana vita na kushinda ambazo lazima apigane, na kutumia yale mazuri yanayokuja nayo yaweze kupatikana. Katika Genesis chapter 8 verse 22, Biblia inasema hivi, nitaenda haraka kwa sababu ya muda. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest time, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. So Noah ameshatoka kwenye safina after being there for some time. Na anapotoka anajua ya kwamba kama ulimwengu kutakuwa na wakati wa kupanda, wakati wa kuvuna, wakati wa baridi, wakati wa joto, wakati wa mchana, wakati wa usiku, wakati wa baridi, zitakuwepo. Praise the name of the Lord. And I want to say that there will always be seasons in our lives. And if we do not become wise to be able to adjust and do the appropriate things, the sons of Issachar understood the times and they knew what Israel should do. Praise the name of the Lord. And if you understand the times, you should know what you ought to do. If you are even to divide your life into seasons, you'll find that you can get seasons. Somebody will tell you from this time to this time ni wakati wa utotoni. From teenage, from 13 to 19, you are in your foundation. From 20 maybe to 30 or thereabout, it is a time to fight bearing, you know. That is a time you can really try many things. You can move from one job to another. You can try business and leave work and do what. By the time you hit 30 to 40, you find you need stability. Praise the name of the Lord. It is a season that you need stability. From 40 to 50, it starts telling you that retirement is calling, is beckoning. Praise the name of the Lord. And I want to believe why some of our parents, we respect them, and we don't think they were ignorant. It's only that they didn't know. Suffered a lot is because sometimes they did not understand the seasons. And because they did not understand the seasons, there are certain things they did not put in place. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 6 verse 6, inasema nini? That Ozragat, go and learn from the ant. What does the ant do? It has no ruler, it has no chief. But what do? They gather during summer. Praise the name of the Lord. Bwana asifiwe. They gather during the harvest time. Why? They know winter will come. You cannot grow if you do not take cognizance of the seasons of your life. The seasons of your life. The seasons that you cannot prepare to retire 1 or 2 years to retirement. You cannot prepare, like I've already said, to take your children to high school when they are in class 7. Understand the seasons and times of your life and ask yourself, what am I supposed to be doing at this particular time? I take cognizance, brothers and sisters, that we don't live in an ideal world. Hatuishi katika ulimwengu ambapo kila kitu kina fall in place vile ambavyo tungetaka. Lakini hiyo sio sababu ya kusarenda to fate. Bwana asifiwe. And we have made mistakes before, but we cannot continue making the same mistakes as we move forward in life. As we move forward in life. So you must understand, yes, there is this need. But because there are some things, if you know, when we were in university, what would happen is that there would be a course. Maybe igeitwa ECE 101. Then kulikuwa na ingine ilikuwa inaitwa ECE 201. Usipofanya ECE 101, haugeruhusiwa kufanya ECE 201. Unanipata? Na hivyo ndivyo maisha yalivyo. Kuna vitu ambavyo unatakiwa kufanya season hii na zingine unatakiwa kufanya next season. Ukiwaste hii season na ukose kufanya kinachohitajika kufanywa hii season, hauwezi kuadvance kufanya hicho kingine. And I've seen it happen in my life. That before I do certain things, it's very hard to do the others. Very hard to do the others. That means that there are things you do and they open doors for the next season. They usher you into the next season. And when you utilize that season well, then it opens a door to the next season. Like now, myself, I'm going through a season in life that a guy called Bob Buford defines as halftime. Anasemaga ya kwamba hii ya kwanza up to around 35 ni first half, using the football analogy. Ya kwamba hii ya kwanza ni first half. Na anasema first half unaweza kucheza. First half unaweza kubali scores ingie. First half unaweza kuwa na mchezo. Lakini after doing your first half, wakati wa half time mna retreat. Wale mnaonaga football, mimi sionagi but naelewa kidogo. Wakati wa half time, na anasema half time is from 35 to around 55 or 45 thereabout. Half time ni kuretreat huko ndani. Mnapo retreat huko ndani, mnaweka vichwa vyenu pamoja. Mnaulizana tulicheza namna gani hiyo first half. Na mnaulizana ni kipi lazima tukifanya sasa tunaporejea second half. Bwana asifiwe. He has written a very good book inaitwa Halftime. He has written several books, but I like Halftime because Halftime really provoked me. It was an assignment I was given when I hit 40 years, and I was told, read this book and it will help you. Moving from success to significance. So that in the second half, you either win or lose in the second half. Bwana asifiwe. You either win or lose in the second half. Kama uko bado first half, uko na chances mingi. And when we are talking about winning and losing, I want you to think about the 5 areas of your life. Personal life, think about church life. In terms of the ministry you have always desired to do. In terms of how you have always desired to serve the kingdom of God. In terms of how you have always desired to uplift people. In terms of how you have always desired to take your children to the next level. In terms of how you have always desired to have, in terms of all those things, you either win or completely lose in the second half. And so you must look at the seasons of your life and ask yourself, what am I supposed to be doing at this time? Bwana asifiwe. Sasa watoto wangu sasa ni wachanga. Wako na, you realize, and those who have taken their children to high school, they will tell you that wakati watoto walikuwa Arua primary, it would have been easy to save quite some good amount of money in a circle. It would have been easy to go and buy a plot and pay pole. Lakini walipogonga high school, walipoanza kuingia high school, inakuwa ngumu sasa kufanya mambo mengine. Bwana asifiwe. And so if you don't take, kama hautachukulia na umuhimu sana the seasons of your life, kuna possibility pia ya kuwa locked out. So unapata mtu ambaye agejenga nyumba ya kwake mzuri sana na aishi vizuri kwa sababu alidiretare kidogo. When we had a guest here speaking about their family, I don't want to mention his name, but he was here and he said, and he talked about their 28 years of marriage. I don't know whether it's us we asked or he is the one who told us. Nakatuabia, one of the things he regrets is that in a season when he would have acquired properties, in a season when he would have done, all those things, bought land and everything, he failed to do that. And so what happens? You have to do catch up. You have now to wait for children wasome, wamalize, wakisha maliza wameondoka, that is now when you have to go and try to catch up things you should have done when you were 30. Why? Seasons of your life. Praise the name of the Lord. So assess yourself if you are to grow and ask yourself, what season am I in? What am I supposed to be doing in this season? I remember having a discussion yesterday with somebody, one of my mentees. And he came and we were talking, and I think we started talking about the vehicles and all that. And I told him, I'm at a season in my life when what matters most is now, how ready am I for my retirement? How ready am I? How will I live? Do I want to be calling Wagari and Jeremy and telling them, leo hatuna kitu ya kukula, tumeni kakitu. Muuliza Wagari, no one inawera. Hapa vile tumekaa na mama yako, inabidi. Sasa kama ama nitawauliza, mnakuja lini? Kuna dume hapa nimelea, nataka mkuje na wajukuu wenu mkule. What will determine what I will tell them is what I'm doing now when I'm 42. Praise the name of the Lord. It is what I'm doing now. And so if you are 40, if you are between 40 and 50, na hujaketi vizuri, na ukajiuliza, when I'm 60 and I've retired, where will I be living? What will I be eating on a daily basis? Chakula yako ya lunch, ukiwa miaka 65, unaitafuta saa hii. Naongea mambo ama ni ngumu sana hii. Praise the name of the Lord. Because when you are 65, that is what will determine whether you will be lunch utakuwa ukililae na wapita njia ama utakuwa. And we are saying we are increasing our capacity to receive. Praise the name of the Lord. We are not saying that I am the one who is like building a basis for my retirement. I'm saying I'm creating my capacity to receive from God so that when I retire, I'll be stable. Praise the name of the Lord. Why is it so? Because preparing for taking children to high school, taking children to university was between 30 and 40. I'm just giving you, I'm just sharing my own testimony so that you could catch up. Kama imepita usiseme ya kwamba I've already lost everything and now you just sit in regret. No, there's something you can do. Praise the name of the Lord. That between 30 and 40, you lay a very clear foundation. You lay a very clear foundation. Like now you see Purity is doing KCPE. Next, she should have done it last year. Bwana asifiwe. Na niliwaambia, some of these programs that we take kama za insurance hazikuwa za pesa mingi kila mwezi. And I'm glad that several of you have taken them here. Bwana asifiwe. Ya kwamba mtoto akiwa like now Purity akiwa like 2 or 3 years, I took a cover ya high school. Na nimekuwa nikitoa kitu kidogo. When I came and told my wife ya kwamba sasa hiyo imemachua na hizi ndizo pesa ziko za kulipa high school, alishangaa sana. Kwa sababu ni kidogo, hata wakati mwingine hiyo ndio unaendelea ukinunulia watu kachai na hapa ndio unaendelea ukifanya hivi ndio unaendelea, lakini kidogo tu unaweka. Lakini umeweka, imagine if you're putting 1,000 per month kutoka mtoto akiwa 1 year mpaka akiwa 13 or even 12. So every year una save gapi? 60,000, isn't it? So una save 60. Ni 12. Nafanya siku mingi. Every year una save 12. 5 years ndio 60. Si ndio? Another 5 years ni 60. So by the time huyo mtoto anaenda high school, utahitaji kusubuka. Praise the name of the Lord. That is why I'm saying, you understand, this is the season for this. My child is this age. Now I know this girl who is playing here. I got 3 years right now. This January, I may hit 3 years. I know that in 10 years, atakuwa akihitaji kwenda high school. Akiwa miaka 18, 19 hapo, that is in 15 years, atahitaji kwenda university. So what is this season supposed to be doing in terms of creating capacity to receive from God for her? It is supposed to be, you may find now, feeding her now and doing that may not be much. But in 18 years, anaweza kuja aniambie, Daddy, mimi, hizi universities hapa staki. Nataka kwenda Denmark, nataka kwenda Canada, nataka kwenda, but when do you prepare to take them there? It is not when they come and say, I want to go to the UK for my university education. It is now. Praise the name of the Lord. It is now. Apply that heart of wisdom now. If you are a young person, stop looking at life hapa tu. See far. Ona bali. Unaweza kuwa uko 25 sasa. Unaweza kuwa uko 28 saa hii. Uko 30 saa hii. Don't lose focus of when you are 60. Because it is how you want to arrive at 60 that you start working on today. Praise the name of the Lord. I'm a timekeeper for those of you who know that I'm a timekeeper, isn't it? If I want to go somewhere, and my wife knows, I do those calculations. Like yesterday, so tunaulizana, hiyo harusi inaanza saa ngapi? Inaanza saa 4. So tukifactor jam na kila kitu tutoke saa ngapi? Tutoke saa 3. So kama huangalii pale pa saa 4, hauwezi kupanga hapa pa saa 3. Utashtukia saa 4 imebakisha dakika 5 ndio unatakiwa kwenda. And that is how many of us live. We don't look ahead. We take a day. We sing, Lord help me to live. One day at a time. And we sing and we say, one day at a time. Sweet Jesus. Now, sweet Jesus, tumeingia sana. Lakini as we live one day at a time, let us always remember that it is this one day at a time that is laying a foundation for the 60 days to come. Praise the name of the Lord. Increase your capacity. Increase your capacity to receive from God. Praise the name of the Lord. So understand, what season are you in? And what are you supposed to be doing in your season? What season are you in and what are you supposed to be doing in your season? So that you don't do catch up when you are already too old. What time was I supposed to finish? Need lose time. Need lose track at time. I was supposed to finish at 12:30. Aya. Wacha nimalize 1. Si ndio? Ama mtaenda na pesa? Bwana asifiwe. Let me finish at 1. I think nimekaa hapo sana pa seasons of our times. And I think maybe I need to do more on seasons of our lives. I can look for some breakdowns. Like, what are we supposed to be doing at what time? And some of the best ways to do that is to walk with somebody who has been there. Like now, myself, I'm walking with one of my mentors, Reverend John Wesley. Reverend John Wesley came to our dinner. He did dinner last year, but 1. And he helps me. And he is able to tell me, because like I said last Sunday, it is only fools who learn from their own mistakes. Wise people learn from other people's me. So you are able to learn, and he is able to tell me, here I made a very good step. I moved very well. Look at it and see. Here I made a mistake. I should have started this area. I should have started this area. You know, even when it comes to serving the Lord. Bwana asifiwe. Nguvu huwa ina reduce, commitment zina increase as days go by. Actually, if you are to draw the curve of serving the Lord, you'll find that from the age of about 18, 19, 20 to the age of about 27, 28, it is a very prime time to serve the Lord. It's a very prime time to give yourself fully to the ministry. Then from around 30, going all the way to about 45, 50, is a time when, if you are going well and with the seasons of life, you are encumbered, una mizigo mingi sana unabeba. And it can become very challenging even to give yourself fully and completely in terms of ministry and all that. And then from about 45, 50, going all the way now to infinity is another beautiful time to serve the Lord. Bwana asifiwe. So when you understand that, you are able to adjust accordingly. Like for me, I can't regret my 20s. Became a pastor when I was 26. And I was still serving God before then. I can't regret my 20s. When I was very active. It was always over, everything. When I got to about 40, I started feeling like I need to slow down 1 or 2 things. Now I'm 42, somebody called me and started asking me, where did this go? Where did this go? Because I've reduced the things that I do. Because I felt I was breaking down. Because there are so many things that need to be done now. There are so many things that need to think about now. But by the time I'm getting to the age of Pastor Kamau, I'll again be energetic and crying. Praise the name of the Lord. Are we together? Ama hii mambo ina sound kama ni ya kimwili sana. So number 3 is what I call Kairos time. Kairos, K-A-I-R-O-S. Kairos. Kairos also comes from the Greek, meaning an opportune time. An opportune time. Opportune time. Ecclesiastes 9:11 says that the battle is not for the swift. We can actually read there as I finish about this Kairos time. Again I saw that under the sun, the race is not for the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to the intelligent, nor favor to those with knowledge, but time and chance happens to them all. Praise the name of the Lord. Time and chance happens to them all. That there is a time where you have to seize the opportunity that has come. That many of us fail to grow because an opportunity comes. You're given an opportunity and you lose it with a brink. There's a word, there's a king. I can't remember whether he was Hezekiah or who went to the Prophet Elisha, and he heard that he was old and he was almost dying. And he went and said, my father, who will lead the chariots of Israel? And Elisha told him, take a bow and an arrow and shoot to the east. Or was it east or north? I think east. And he shot. And then he told him, take a bow and arrows and shoot to the ground. And he took and shoot, pew, pew, pew. And he said, I have done it. And the Bible says, Elisha was angry with him. Na akamwambia, kwa nini hukugonga mara 5 ama mara 6 na ungewashinda wale mara 5 ama mara 6? Lakini kwa sababu umegonga mara 3 peke yake, utawashinda mara 3 peke yake. Many of us are presented with great opportunities in life, but we lose them either because of lack of ambition, we lose them either because of lack of understanding, we lose them either because we don't understand that this is an opportune moment. And many people say opportune moments are like an open window that will close before long. If you don't make use of that window, then you lose it all. Praise the name of the Lord. There are people who lose jobs because they never made good use of a kairos time, an opportunity that arose. And because they didn't either have wisdom, they were not walking with their Jethros, they were not walking with their Jonathans, they were not walking with their builders, they were not working with their Gethsemane friends, they were not able to discern that this is an opportunity that I should not let go. Praise the name of the Lord. Bwana asifiwe. And that brings regret. Some of us regret in life kwa sababu kulikuwa na mlango uliofunguka and we never made good use of time of that. Na nataka niseme ya kwamba let us always have our antennas up so that we are able to identify opportunities, opportune moments, and we are able to make use of them. Let us always be ready. There is something that I call anticipatory preparation. That and it can go back to the skills and everything else, but I am anticipating that there is a certain opportunity that may come. And because I'm anticipating that opportunity, I am preparing myself. Praise the name of the Lord. Like when we removed the small structure that was here, I told the elders here ya kwamba tusijenge kanisa kubwa sana maana hakuna watu wengi. That time I think we may have been 30 or less. Hakuna watu wengi. Wacha tuiongeze tu kama mara 2, alafu hiyo itakuwa ni mzuri. Wakaniambia hapana. Wacha tufanye 40 by 70. I think this one is 40 by 70. Wacha tufanye 40 by 70. Nikawaambia sasa 2 things. 1, tutaweza. Number 2, watu wa kukaa 40 by 70 watatoka wapi? Wakaniambia hapana pastor. Ama ninajianika sahi. Wakaniambia hapana, let us do 40 by. It is called anticipatory preparation. We are saying we anticipate that God will give us more people. And because we anticipate God will give us more people, let us make room for that. Praise the name of the Lord. And we made room. Imagine sasa kama tungefanya hako nilikuwa ninasema hapa. Bado tungekuwa na shida kubwa. COVID ingekuja tungefanya service 6. But God helped them to see that there is an opportunity, because opportunities are only grabbed by people who are ready. When an opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. Bwana asifiwe. Wakati ule my parents walikuwa wanasaidiwa na watu wa kijiji kupanga niende university, I always tell you there is somebody who came akaambia mama yangu wacheni ku waste time na ku waste resources. Kwa sababu wacha nisiseme jina tasikika, na nilikuwa nimeanza kusema na ni wangu mahali anajifunza kutengeneza baiskeli, kuna watu wawili walitoka university. Hata wao sasa wanafunzwa kutengeneza baiskeli. So alikuwa anataka Warui aende akatengeneze afunzwe kutengeneza baiskeli. Na imagine anakutengeneza baiskeli si kitu baya. But my parents wakasema hapana with all those discouragement. Yes, there are no jobs. Yes, jobs are scarce. But when they appear, it is only the one who have the skills who will be taken. So let us prepare in anticipation. Bwana asifiwe. That if the rain comes down, the only person who can sow is the person who had his seeds ready. You know, kama kule zamani vile walikuwa wanafanya. Ya kwamba ni mwaka unaonekana una kiangazi, lakini wanasema hii kiangazi ikikuja tunaweza kula mpaka begu. So wanachukua mahindi, inatolewa hii kitu ya inaitwa maganda yake. Maganda yake inatolewa lakini haitolewi kabisa, inafungwa na kamba, inahangiwa huko kitchen round. Inahangiwa huko kitchen round for two reasons. One, for preservation, but I also came to learn that number two, ni yakwamba ikitogererwa nini ikishika moshi. Ikishika moshi sasa hawezi kukula. So hata mkipata jana mna gani hiyo hamwezi kukula. Ni begu anaweka tayari kwa sababu anajua ya kwamba there is a kairos time that will come. There is a time that will come and rain will fall. And when that time comes and rain falls, it is only the person who had their seeds ready will go and sow their seeds and they will get a harvest. Praise the name of the Lord. If you are going to grow, anticipate kairos time. Sema ya kwamba nimefanya hii certificate na sijapata kazi, lakini kwa sababu natarajia na nitafanya hata diploma, nitafanya hata hii degree, hata hii masters nitaifanya, nikijitayarisha kwa sababu ya kairos moment. Praise the name of the Lord. And when kairos moment comes, make good use of it again, because there are some people who shy away. And when you go to the professional world, they say that once in a while you get what is called an elevator moment. An elevator moment ni ile umeenda ukafinya elevator, uingie unaenda 7th floor, na kutoka hapo kwenda 7th floor ni dakika kama 1 ama 2. Then unapoingia tu unakuta ni CEO wa hiyo company yuko kwa hiyo elevator na ni nyinyi wawili peke yenu. How do you use that moment? Do you shy away and you know him? You know this is Dego wa Safaricom. So ulikuwa unaenda ofisi nyingine huko hiyo kinyumba maybe ya Safaricom. Unaona huyu ni Dego wa Safa? Bwana asifiwe. Si hata unaweza kutana hata na Uhuru Kenyatta. Umeingia tu kwa left. How do you use those 2 minutes? 2-3 minutes. 2-3 minutes. Umeingia kwa I'm trying to look for familiar places that you people go. Si mnisaidia nyinyi mnaendaga wapi? Because I wanted to say that you are at the airport, nikaona maybe itaingiana vizuri. Ni wapi mnaendaga mnaweza kutana na watu wakubwa? Ati wapi? Ati? Archives. Wako. Bwana asifiwe. So if you meet that person and you have an opportunity, what do you say to that person? If that person was to ask you, because our unpreparedness sometimes can really become a disaster. And our unpreparedness, that somebody is here, he is asking us, and never answer questions in such a generic way. Usiwahi ulizwa na mtu anaweza kukupatia kazi, ungetaka kazi gani, and then useme naweza fanya kazi yoyote. Hiyo ni kuruzi. Unajua saa zingine unafikiria kati nikujipatia una. Be specific. Mwambie mimi ukiniweka mahali fulani, hiyo kazi nitaifanya kwa ufasaha. What is your area? Because some of us unaulizagwa, hata mimi nauliza mtu. Sasa maana unatafuta kazi, unaweza fanya kazi gani? Kazi yoyote yenye inaweza patikana naweza fanya. Sasa kazi yote inaweza patikana ni gani? When opportune moments arise, make good use of them. Praise the name of the Lord. Yeah. Make good use of them. Make good use of them. When God opens a window for you, ensure that, be like these ants. They gather when there is a harvest. Because there can also be opportune moments in your life. There can be a windfall. Unaweza eda mahali ujipate umepata a certain huge amount of money. Or umepata a good job, lakini ni contractual. How do you make use of that opportune moment to ensure that you're taking care of yourself in the future? Kwa sababu unapata mtu amepata kazi na amepewa contract ya miezi 6. Baada ya kupewa contract ya miezi 6, amelipwa 1,200 ama 300 kwa mwezi. Anasema ya kwamba mimi niko na imani hii contract itakuwa renewed. Niko na imani itakuwa renewed. So anakosa kujitayarisha. Anafanya nini? Anaenda ananunua gari, anahama ile nyumba alikuwa anaishi, anaenda ananunua sofa set ya leather ya 1,100, anaenda anachukua loan ya, then after 6 months anapata barua inamwambia, in accordance with the terms and conditions of your contract, please start clearing. So when you get this is a window. It's like a window that has been opened for 6 months, and God has allowed you to get this amount of money. God has allowed you this huge contract that is giving you this. How can you use that opportune moment to lay a foundation for yourself in terms of your future growth? That instead of eating, how can you sow? You know, there's people who use that analogy. That whatever you receive, you can either eat or sow. So it can either be bread or seed. How can you ensure that you are reducing the amount of bread and you're increasing the amount of seed? That you're making investments that you are sure that if after these 6 months I am told this job is over, then I will have done something that can hold me for quite a number of years, that I can fall back to. Yakoba, wacha niendelee kukaa hii kasigo ninakaa ambayo ni ya 2,000, na hili badala ya kumove kwa nyumba ya 20,000, hii 10 na kadhaa ambazo ningeongeza kwa rent, maybe nipeleke kwa sako. Maybe niende niongee na mtu ambaye anauza to plot, nimlipage polepole. Nikipeleka kwa sako, after these 6 months nitakuwa nimequalify kuchukua maybe some hundreds of thousands, and I can set up a business, be able to pay back the loan and take care of my family. So you don't say that it is an opportunity to upgrade your life. This is the opportunity sasa ya kukula kile ambacho hatujawahi kukula. So you must ask yourself, when a window of opportunity opens, that Kairos time, how do you use it? How do you utilize it? Praise the name of the Lord. And many of us have wasted Kairos time. We have wasted opportune times. When God opened a window that He would have used for your prosperity into the future, you allowed it to go to waste. Don't allow your opportune moment to go to waste. Praise be to the name of the Lord. Let me just share in the next 1 or 2 minutes what you ought to do if you are going to make good use of your time and your time is going to bring about growth. Number 1, I'm trying to avoid saying things that I've said here before. I know I've said a lot of things in terms of time management, so I'm avoiding repeating those. So if you've not been here, I'm sorry that you may miss out for those who've been here. Number 1, understand what should be done. That prudent time management starts with understanding. Help me to number my days, that I may gain a heart of wisdom, a heart of understanding. That the children of Issachar understood the times and they knew what Israel ought to do. So understand, if it is the chronos, understand what should be done in the morning. So that you are not doing what should be done in the morning, in the evening. Bwana asifiwe. Bwana asifiwe. Yes, you should not be doing what should be done in the morning, in the evening. If you are supposed to be sleeping at night, please, during the day, don't sleep. Understand what should be done. Because there are some people who sleep when they are supposed to be up. I have said I'll use only 2 minutes. I'm getting tempted. Let me stop the temptation. Number 2, plan for your time. So now you understand what should be done. You understand what should be done in your season. You understand that now I'm 32. You understand what I should be doing. I'm now 59, I understand what I should be doing. I'm now 42, I understand what, then now plan. And I said, a plan has to be documented. It has to be written down. It has to be communicated. I said, I'll teach you how to plan, so we'll get there. So plan, sit down and plan. If I know that by now I should be investing for my retirement, let me plan. If I know that now I should be investing for my children's education, let me plan how I will do that. Many times we think there are things that we cannot do. You know, sometimes I'm talking about preparing for retirement and you're like, we're pastor. Sasa na prepare na nini? But you would be amazed if you sit down, because I'm not talking about huge things. Of course, there are those who would think of this huge home with a swimming pool, with 50 cattle at the corner there. There are those who would think that way. But when I talk about you, ask yourself some critical questions. Like, do I want to rely on my children when I retire? Or do I want to become the Bebereko father who leaves an inheritance to his children and his children's children? You know, you can't leave an inheritance to your children and your children's children if you actually eat from them. It is important for us to support our parents. But there are cycles that we must stop. Bwana asifiwe. Ya kwamba wazazi wa wazazi wetu walilai na wazazi wetu. Like now my father wakati alizaliwa na akapata kazi, alikuwa firstborn, wakati huo ndio watoto wao walikuwa wanasoma. Ndio wazazi walikuwa wanahitaji nyumba. Ndio akaanza kusomesha watoto wao. Akaanza kujengea wazazi nyumba. By the time anamaliza kusomesha watoto wao na kujengea wazazi nyumba, na sisi tumefika kwenda high school. Akatupeleka high school, akatusomesha, akatumia fedha zake zote. By the time anamaliza ameshazeeka. So naye Warui akitokea, Warui naye lazima amtunze, amwangalie. Lazima amjengee nyumba, amfanyie. But it has to stop somewhere. Praise the name of the Lord. Lazima stop somewhere. Niseme ya kwamba I will do this for my parents because I know where they're coming from. But I want to be more prudent. I want to seek my God. I want to tell God, please bless me. I don't want my children and their children to continue with this cycle. Ya kwamba sasa Wagari akimaliza kusoma, anakuta baba yake hana nyumba, baba yake hana chakula, anaanza tena kunitunza. By the time anamaliza kunitunza, watoto wake na wao wamefika, that cycle has to stop somewhere. Praise the name of the Lord. It can only stop when you sit down and plan and ask yourself, what will I be eating? Nitakuwa nikiishi wapi? Bwana asifiwe. Na kama nitakuwa nikiishi mahali fulani, nitajiandaa kivipi? Kama you are still young, na unajua ya kwamba mtoto wangu ana miaka 5 kabla aende high school, kabla aende university, keti chini ujiulize, what am I supposed to be doing now? And then plan how you will do it. Plan how you will do it. Do I need to save in a circle? Do I need to take an insurance cover? Do I need to buy kaprot mahali nikijua ya kwamba kata appreciate? Wakati nahitaji kwenda university, I know I'll get a market and I'll sell it. The others will plan themselves in a very simple way. Unapata amesema ya kwamba in 3 years mtoto wangu atakuwa akienda high school. And I think I've seen my father do that. Na kwa hivyo nitafanya nini? Nitaenda ninunue tudume tutatu. Tunauzwa 3,500 3,500 saa hii. By the time nimetufeed na nyasi ni ya bure na dharani niko nayo kwa shamba. By the time nimetufeed miaka 3, kila kamoja katakuwa kinipatia 50,000. So nitakuwa na 150 na sitakuwa na shida ya mtoto wa shule. Bwana asifiwe. Sasa nimejaribu kuileta a little bit closer home. Ya kwamba unaweza hata kwenda kununua buzi. Si tunauzua buzi leo. Useme ya kwamba naona ya kwamba niko na 10,000 saa hii. Lakini in 5 years time I'll need like $500,000 to be able to take care of something here. So with this 10,000 nitanunua tubuzi. Tuzaane. Ama kama ni kitu iko kwa haraka, nitanunua nguruwe. I think nguruwe ndio inazaga haraka na zinauzwa haraka. Bwana asifiwe. Ama nyinyi ni wadindire haitakai mambo ya nguruwe. Andani nasema nitajipanga ili hizi time vile zinaenda niweze kushughulikia. Kwa sababu hiyo 10,000 ukichukua uiweke kwa account, utapata ya kwamba by the time kunafika utakuwa either umeikula, ama hata kama itakuwa haitakuwa ya msaada kwako. Ni kujipanga tu na muda. Sit down and plan. Praise the name of the Lord. Number 3, get rid of time wasters. Get rid of time wasters. Because there are many time wasters. Very many time wasters. Na lazima uget rid. Either ni relationship, either ni habit uko nazo zinakuwestia time, either ni watu wanakuwestia time, either ni uzebe wako. Unashindwa kuamka mapema, na kwa sababu hujaamka mapema, unajua kuna watu wakikosa kuamka mapema, their days zinakuwaga tu hivi hivi. Kama mimi. And so sometimes I'm forced to wake up early. So unakuta ni Saturday, saa 11 nimeamka. Mwewe ananiambia sasa umeamka kufanya nini? Namuuliza si wewe ulale, ananiambia sasa uko umeamka na mimi siwezi lala. So umeniamsha. Maana najua hii Saturday nisipoamka 5 am niamke kitu saa 1 saa 2. Yote itaisha tu hivyo. Gelia roho hivi tu. Lakini nikiamka mapema na nimejipanga, I'm able to have a very productive day. So unafaidi unaona time waster ni hii. The other thing nikiplan na angalia niko na activities gani. What am I supposed to do? And I ensure that I also carry, like, I always carry my iPad, or I carry my phone, or I carry my book, so that anytime I'm somewhere waiting, I'm either reading a book, I'm doing a video, I'm actually telling people. That is why most of the videos I said, I do them in the car. You may notice hivyo. Sio kwa sababu atinapenda sana kufanyia kwa gari, ni kwa sababu that is the only time I have. Hapo ndipo nimefix. That is the only time I have to be able to do those short videos. I don't have time to prepare and go somewhere in a studio or somewhere beautiful and whatever. But it is when I'm waiting for somebody. It is when I'm parking in a petrol station. It is when I'm able to formulate that video, record it, and send it out. So I'm ensuring that every bit of my time is well spent. I'll never go somewhere and sit waiting for somebody and my 3, 4, 5 minutes is wasted. No, I have to account for every minute that I have in a day. Every minute, including the minutes that I spend to rest. I have to account for them. That kama tumeagana tukutane hapa saa 11 na umekuja 5:05, I must account for my 5 minutes. Hii 5 minutes yangu nimekaa hapa nikikugoja. There must be something I'm doing that adds value to my life. Praise the name of the Lord. I'm either reading a book, I'm either listening to a sermon, I'm either going through, I'm either writing my notes, I'm either doing something. There's something that I'm doing. Always ensure that you're not wasting time. The other one, number 4, ensure that you act. A plan is only as good as your ability to act and do that which needs to be done. Am I supposed to start saving? Like myself, I decided to join a circle in 2005. But I think I joined around 2009 or 2010. Because of those years I wasted delaying, procrastinating, there are benefits that I cannot get. There are costs. Sometimes I'll have to go to the bank, get a loan at a higher fee, a higher interest rate. Whereas if I had saved for these first 3, 4, 5 years, that I kept saying I will join tomorrow, I would have saved to be able to get something good. So you find there is always a cost for not acting on time. Praise the name of the Lord. There is always a cost for not acting on time. I said even failing to give an apology on time, failing to discuss a matter on time, failing to dispense on something on time. There is always a cost that you have to pay for it. And therefore, you have to find a way of acting and being very prompt in your action if you are going to get the benefits of the way you use your time. Praise be to the name of the Lord. Bwana asifiwe. And then finally, evaluate and adjust accordingly. Keep evaluating how you're doing in terms of your time management, in terms of how you're managing your time. Keep evaluating. Keep evaluating and asking yourself, am I really making headways? Am I getting the best out of this time? Yes, this is the harvest time, and I know winter is coming. And then after you have done, look back and ask yourself, did I do well? How did I spend? You know, I have to ask myself, how did I spend my 20s? How did I spend my 30s? You know, and did they bring the benefits? Are there mistakes that I made that I don't want to repeat? Are there opportunities that came and I let them go just like that? Please, evaluate your progress. Evaluate your progress. And I will repeat, like I said just Sunday but one, working with somebody is very, very important. Bwana asifiwe. Get yourself mentors. Because if there's something that has helped me, it is every now and then sitting with my mentors and looking at how I'm progressing and asking questions and planning forward. Yes, every time I stay, after a while, I'll call Reverend Peterson Wangombe and I'll tell him I want us to meet. And we'll meet for hours, trying to evaluate, trying to ask, how am I progressing? What am I doing? What am I doing about this? What am I doing? And they help me with great ideas. They see things that I cannot see. So kindly get yourself someone. Get yourself a mentor. Get yourself somebody you can sit down with and evaluate how you are progressing. How is your business going? They might see something you are not seeing in that business. They see something you're not seeing in that family. And they might tell you, please take this action. Praise the name of the Lord. If you're in that season, like I said the other Sunday, that season of you are now getting in, like myself, to bringing up teenage children. And there are people who have brought up teenage children. Don't wait to learn through your own experience. Go sit down with them. Let us make good use of this fellowship that God has given us. Don't wait until we prepare a parenting summit. Don't wait until there is a crisis in your house to resolve. Call Pastor Kamau. Call Elder John here. Call Elder Geshoro there. Call Mama Saimo here. Call Mama Karen. Call Mama Masharia. Let me try to behave today and call them Mama Frani. Although I find it very sweet when I call them their names. Call them. Tell them now, my daughter is 12. Next year, anagoga 13. Ebu niambie imabo ya teenage umedili nao kivipi. Because that is a season. And if you get into that season and start doing catch up, you'll catch up until they are 30. But jipange sasa, mtoto wako 10, mtoto wako 11, anza kuongea na Mama Lucy. Unamwambia, nimeona Lucy wako ni teenager, nimemwangalia vile anaenda, amejoin university sasa. Ebu niambie kunaendaga aje. Bwana asifiwe. Don't just walk alone. Seek counsel. Let us as a fellowship build one another. In fact, I'm thinking sometimes we don't even need guests from outside. Sometimes they bring a lot of wisdom and knowledge. But sometimes I think we need to build ourselves here. Tunakuja tu tunaketi tunaulizana maswali. Maana tuko familia, tunauliza wewe umepitia challenge gani? Umedeal nayo kivipi? Na wewe umepitia wapi? Umedeal nayo kivipi? Unasema sasa mimi nimeoa, nimeolewa. Sasa ndio tuko miaka 5. Na hii ndivyo ninaona. Nyinyi mkiwa miaka 5 kulikuwa gaje? Nyinyi mkiwa miaka 20 ilikuwa namna gani? Mliadjust vipi? Praise the name of the Lord. Tusimame tuombe. Hii inaweza enda nayo mpaka kesho.